Teacher who refused to use preferred pronouns gets $450,000 settlement. So I could understand why the left is so scared and confused right now. For the past couple of decades, the right's response to the left's lawfare has been to keep turning the other cheek, to just keep getting slapped over and over and over again. Oh, if we fight back, we'll be just as bad as them. Just keep turning the other cheek, keep bending over. And now finally, like, imagine the cuck you've been slapping around for 20 years. Imagine if instead of turning the other cheek, like just one day out of nowhere, he just kicks you in the balls. That's pretty much what's happening here. The cucks are starting to kick you in the balls. Vivian Girardi said she was told to comply with student demands or provide a letter of resignation. Can companies actually legally do that? I guess she always could have said, no, you're going to have to actually fire me if you want to get rid of me. I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to comply with student demands, and I'm not going to resign. What are you going to do? Fire me? So the right finally found their balls. Yeah, they're in their wife's purse where they left them. An Ohio teacher who resigned after refusing to use a student's preferred pronouns and names will receive a $450,000 settlement from her school district. Vivian Girardi sued a Jackson local school district in current year -3. This actually resolved pretty quickly as far as cases go. Dang, I wonder if they fast-tracked this one. And settlement was reached last month, the New York Post reported over the weekend. She was aided in her suit by Alliance Defending Freedom, which released a statement to Nothing But Crap 4 late last week. Yep. So the Southern Poverty Lie Center was created just to wage lawfare on and bankrupt the KKK. Now we got our own organizations doing the same thing on the other side, except it's more to get money to counter being canceled than bankrupt them per se. But if it also does that, that's a good side effect. So the school tried to force Vivian to accept and repeat the school's viewpoint on issues that go to the foundation of morality and the human identity, like what makes us male or female, by ordering her to personally participate in the social transition of her students. If only we had more teachers that had spines, imagine where we'd be. Instead, they just bend over and, that's following orders. All right, the First Amendment prohibits that abuse of power. Jackson local school district officials have learned that comes at a steep cost. Yeah, so they've been bending over to the left all these years because they were afraid of the left suing them, because the left has traditionally been the litigious ones. Now the right is suing them if they fuck them. Take your pick, schools. Girardi said in her lawsuit that she was told to resign from the district's middle school language arts program. The U.S. District for the Northern District of Ohio ruled in August that being forced to use preferred pronouns and names or face disciplinary action amounted to compelled speech. The court also found the school's pronoun practice was not neutral. Nah. You think they would be neutral with the new official religion of the state? In its own statement, Jackson local schools told Nothing But Crap 4 that it remains dedicated to navigating complex and changing legal environments in a manner that prioritizes student safety and well-being. Yeah, this part's big. Complex and changing legal environments. Yeah, that's code for, fuck, we kept bending over for the left because they kept suing us. Now the right's suing us too. What are we going to do? In August of current year -3, on the first day of school, 2 students asked Girardi to call them by different names that appeared on school information. Girardi said she knew the names were part of the student's social transition, but declines to accommodate them due to her religious belief. She also said she wanted those students out of her classroom. I don't blame her. It's like wanting HR ticking time bombs out of your company. For the next week, Girardi refused to refer to those students by their Girardi referred to those students by their real names. I almost confused myself there. I thought that at first that said refused to call them by their real names. Like, no, that's not what this is about. So even when one asked through email to be called an alternative name, this student then went to the school counselor to wrote one of my teachers dead naming me and like all the time in class. I wonder if this student's going to apologize when they detransition after getting out of school. Probably not, though. Another teacher then went to the principal to seek accommodation so that students would not continue to feel uncomfortable. So, well, how uncomfortable are they going to feel when they grow up and they realize it was just a phase and it's too late to get the nuts they chopped off back? How is that going to be for uncomfortable? Dry told the principal that due to her religious views, she wouldn't call their students by their preferred names or pronouns and wouldn't be comfortable using preferred names or pronouns because she would know that that's what was behind it. Good on her. The principal and another district employee called Girardi in for a second meeting and told her it was going to be a problem if she didn't comply with the student's request. Girardi said she was then called for a third meeting and said if she wouldn't comply, she would need a letter of resignation effective today. The principal and other participant in this meeting dispute this, saying Girardi told them, "I guess I'll resign." Actually, both of those might be true, though. There's no reason that these both can't be true. They could have just said, "Yeah, you either need to do this or resign." And her response was, "Okay, I guess I resign." Not that hard. So ADF argued that the school did not offer Girardi other alternatives, such as moving her to a different classroom or allowing her to address the students by their last names. So I think they want to avoid the possibility of transfers because eventually you're going to end up with all of the toxic problem students and toxic problem teachers in one spot and all of the decent students and teachers in another. And while that is the desired outcome for most of us, they don't want that because it'll highlight the discrepancy between them, which is exactly what they're trying to hide. So yeah, they got a little bit of a problem here. But another problem they're having is the fact that the right is now engaging in lawfare as well. They're not putting up with it anymore. They're like, okay, as the left has shown over the past few years, in modern society, the way you get what you want is by lawfare. So, okay, so be it. Lawfare it is. Well, we wanted to just talk it out. We wanted to just be left alone. You made it clear that that's not an option. So, okay, lawfare it is. If we're going to have to take every minor dispute straight into the courtroom, so be it. I didn't want to do this, but you guys gave me no choice. That's the world we live in now. And then I hope that once the left suffers long enough under the right's lawfare, that they can start suggesting, like, yeah, maybe we need some tort reform to stop this. And then the right can jump on and say yes, and then they could both end it. But that's not going to happen. Yeah, in reality, whichever side is in power is going to want to keep it because they want to keep using that power. And if only the squeaky wheel gets its way, squeak, squeak. Yep, that's the attitude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this lawfare culture, but if this is the only thing they listen to, like how many stories have we covered on this channel where some guy had a complaint of some kind and was being completely ignored until he filed a lawsuit and his lawyer sent a letter to the institution saying, yeah, you've been served, bitch. You guys are going to get sued. And then like the next second, hey, can't we just talk this out? Yeah, let's just sit down and have a conversation. Oh, you mean the conversation you were actively denying me for years until I threatened to sue you? You now you want to have that conversation? You didn't want to have it when you thought I was just going to walk away, did you? Yeah, cowabunga it is. That's right. Like, how did that saying go? Like, this isn't a grave, it's the future you chose for yourself. Yeah. Yeah, that applies right here.